Hi, welcome to Daily Dev Update, the series in which you get into my mind as a video game artist. Yes! My name is Zuko and I'm excited to be here because today is rapid fire quick tips for Maya. Yeah, so today will be super simple. I'll be going over a few things you may or may not already know about Maya. And there's things that I didn't even really know for the longest time. And when I found out, I felt really dumb. So let's go. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to show you today is pretty simple. The extrude tool is actually bound to the handles by default by holding shift. So if you hold down shift, you can see the extrude text shows up above the handle, and you can just click and drag real quick by holding down shift, click and drag off of that handle. And then on top of that, if you want to do sliding, so if I take this guy and I rotate like this, select this edge loop, and then from here I can hold down Cntrl+Shift and you'll see the word slide shows up. And if I just click and drag on the slide handle, I can slide the edge loop along that handle as well. The next tip is the multi-cut tool's edge flow option. So by default, edge flow is off. To get to the multi-cut tool, if you go into object mode, select your object and shift right click, it'll bring up the menu, then go to this left side here where it says multi-cut. If you go to the options, right here, the edge flow option is something that's super useful. I can go ahead and with this checked on, if I hold down Control, it'll start to make my edge loop, right? Then if I hit middle click, it can actually put an edge loop in the middle of the face itself and conform it to the edge flow. This is something that has saved me many times, just being able to add edges and not have to worry about cleaning up the actual edge flow itself. Now the next one is something that happens to me all the time. When I'm up here and I'm trying to scroll all up in my channel editor, I can sometimes scroll on my shelf. And when you do that, your shelf disappears. The first time this happened to me, I had no idea what was happening. And I was just like, okay, my shelf disappeared and I restarted. All you have to do is just scroll up and it'll come back. Now, if anybody knows why this even happens in the first place, they even have these arrows over here where you can kind of just like nudge it up and down. Please let me know because I really just want to stop this from happening in general. This next tip is something that can help you organize your outliner. If I go over here, my outliner, if I click on P-Cylinder 2, I can change the color of how it displays in the outliner just by going over to my attribute editor, go to my P-Cylinder 2, not its shape, and go down to display. And then click on use outliner color, change the color to whatever I want, choose my color, hit done, and then now my P-Cylinder 2 shows up as bright green in my outliner, which can be helpful in a lot of cases. This next tool actually used to exist in the Maya menus, but I think ever since 2016 they ripped it out for some reason. They must be trying to replace it with something, but it was called the MirrorCut tool. Now you can still access the MirrorCut tool to make shapes like this. I start with this trim and then it comes out like this. You can go ahead and go to your script editor and then under the Mel tab, type in polyMirrorCut 110.001. I'll put this in the description below. And then just go ahead and hit the play button and now you have the MirrorCut tool again. So you can go ahead and make awesome trim corner pieces once more without having to rip your hair out. Sometimes Maya gets a little confused and your camera starts rotating in weird spots. Like here, no matter what, if I hit F, my camera is just rotating around some arbitrary point and I can't really do anything about it no matter what I try. But if I hit Alt+Home, it resets my camera and I'm all good and I'm ready to roll. And the last tip for today is going to be the speed controls on any scrub slider that has to do with tools. So if I add a bevel to this, my default scrub speed is going to make this virtually impossible to change the fraction because it's incrementing by 0.1. Now you can go into the slider and just kind of like move this and it's a lot nicer. It has way nicer interpolation. But you can also do the same thing by holding down Cntrl+Shift and middle mouse dragging. This will actually change the increment amount so that way it's using a lower decimal point. Instead of trying to do 0.1, it's doing like 0.001 at a time. Super nice, super tweaky, so you can go ahead and just like easily add in an edge loop and then quick tweak the actual size without having to go, what? Dang it. And that's a few quick tips that may or may not help you in Maya. I cannot express to you just how many times I restarted Maya because I thought my shelf was gone. I thought my shelves were gone. And the entire time I just needed to scroll up. Just needed to scroll right back up. So yeah, if any of this was helpful to you, please drop me a line down below. And yeah, you know what? Smash those buttons, let's go, and I'll see you tomorrow in another episode. Bye!